Cal News reporter Tom Wade is here with where the case stands, what the Innocence Project is saying about this, Tom.
And Pat and Juan, some really fascinating information in these court documents that executive producer Amy Madison and I have been learning tonight. So we'll get into that in just a second. But the LA Innocence Project is not saying why they are taking up this case, but we'll share what we found in the court filing in just moments. But we also tonight spoke with one of the Peterson jurors who says if there is new evidence, it should be examined.
Is it new evidence, or is it something that has already been addressed?
Mike Belmessieri was one of the jurors in the Scott Peterson murder trial. He's curious about why the LA Innocence Project would take up Peterson's case.
My reaction when I was first told was, wow, that's interesting.
The LA Innocence Project is not revealing what, if any, new evidence they may have, but it may have something to do with this burned-out van. In a new court filing by the Innocence Project, a former Modesto fire investigator told them at the time of Lacey's disappearance, he was called to a suspicious van fire. Detectives were looking for information regarding a van associated with a burglary across the street from the Peterson home. Blood evidence was found inside the van. That fire investigator said this about the blood. I recall that once the presumptive test indicated positive for blood, the face of the evidence technician conducting the test went white, and everyone present at the evidence locker went ballistic. The people observing the test started getting onto their phones to report what they had found. I have been deeply troubled about what I viewed to be an insufficient investigation into the possibility of this vehicle fire being related in some way to the disappearance of Lacey Peterson.
If they have new evidence, I hope they take a good look at it. I don't want to see Scott Peterson in prison for something he didn't do. Of course, you got a long way to go to convince me that he wasn't guilty, because I spent 5.5 months in a courtroom listening to testimony, looking at evidence.
Scott Peterson was convicted in 2004 for the murder of his then pregnant wife, Lacey, and their unborn son, Connor. Peterson was having an affair at the time with Amber Fry. Prosecutors say Peterson killed Lacey and then dumped her body in the San Francisco Bay.
It would be tragic to find out that something wasn't presented. I don't have a problem with something not known, but I would have a problem with evidence not presented.
However this plays out, the involvement of the LA Innocence Project is putting this salacious case back in the headlines.
Certainly a significant development. The LA Innocence Project isn't going to take on cases that they don't think have real merit behind them. They don't just guess that maybe we should do this for somebody in custody. They're going to put their resources behind a case when there's something there and they think they can make a difference.
In August 2020, the California Supreme Court reversed Peterson's death sentence after finding that jurors were erroneously dismissed. He was resentenced in 2021 to life without parole. So Pat and Juan, a lot to process tonight.
No question about that. The juror was very, very interesting. Also, the soundbite at the end from the gentleman that says the Innocence Project does not take cases that they think they can't win or that don't have merit. So let's talk more about this van that was discovered, but it was concealed from the media at the time it was found.
In the court
In the court documents. What does that mean?
So in the court documents, the Modesto firefighter says that they went to great pains to conceal the van, to cover it up when they were transporting it, because there was so much media camped out at the Peterson home and other locations that they had to hide it because they didn't want the media to notice it and then start asking questions about it. That was his opinion. That's what he stated in the court filings. We don't know what the blood sample tested back to, but we do know what his reaction was when he saw everyone in the room looking at what they potentially saw as results there. Obviously, the quote was ballistic. That's how the reaction was. So that really raises some questions about what were they looking at? What were the results? We don't have that information right now. There's still a lot more in those court documents. We're still going through them. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of intriguing to say the least.
There's no question. There was a huge case then, and to reopen it is going to be a huge case all over again.
And I was one of those reporters parked outside the Peterson home in Modesto 20 years ago. We never saw a van.
Isn't that you didn't hear about it either.
That's right. You covered it.
That's right.
And you did too.
I was here. Yeah, and the Amber Fry, I certainly remember that. I believe we talked to her from here. She did an interview. Wow. So just so much going on. Good work, Tom. You're going to be very busy.
Yeah. We'll see how it goes.
You.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Mark.
Thanks. All right.